Hello, Chaitanya.
Sir,
Very good evening.
good evening, sir.
How are you?
Fine, sir.
Okay, shall we continue class? Start the class.
Yes, sir.
Okay, actually we are discussing about that our forest. Forest is our life. Yes or
Yes,
no?
sir.
So without forest, there is no plants. There is no plants. There is no life. There is no plant. There is no food. There is no plants. There is no forest. There is no rain. There is no rain. There is no food. There is no food. There is no survival of the living organism. Yes or no? Already last class we are discussing something. So what is our lesson? Forest, our life. Forest, our life. Okay. Already these we are completed. Okay. So forests have been cut down a very fast rate in the first 100 years and replaced by the industries and arcades. Okay. Are those needed for the timber or other economic needs or cropland. The natural habitat of the forest is the loss. When the forests are cut down, several types of the organism disappear. This is also over last time.
Yes, sir.
Next, actually there are forests only 19.3 of the geographical area of our country. Which of the countries that forest land is the 33 percentage is there, that is the develop, developing country. 33 percentage of the which of the forest is the present, that is the developing country. Developing country. Actually here 93 percentage of the forest only present. This is a very poor forest. Next, a forest is a community of the trees, shrubs, herbs and other plants and organisms that cover a large area using carbon dioxide, water, soil, nutrient. Forests take up large amount of the carbon dioxide and some other harmful particles and gases and keep the air clean. So that means forests are called lungs of our earth. Why? Because the lungs they are taking to that oxygen and distributed, and that blood is the purified. Here also that forest is the taking to the carbon dioxide and releasing to the oxygen. So that's why forest is known as the lungs of our earth. So very important. Who is our lungs of our earth? Forest is our lungs of earth. Next, forest are the renewable natural resources. Renewable natural resources means what? We can again and again we can produce. Okay. So forests are renewable natural resources which play an important role in the maintenance of the ecological balance. So that means plants are taking to the oxygen and plants are taking to the carbon dioxide and releasing to the oxygen, taking to the carbon dioxide and releasing to the oxygen. So that's why ecological balance is balanced. Next, so actually there are an important source, especially in the forest we are getting to the timber, fuel wood, cane, resins, lac, oil, fruits, nuts, firewood, fodder and honey. So actually most of the things we are getting from the forest. So next, the forest also have the wild varieties of the cultivable crops and medicinal plants. Actually in the forest, different varieties of the wild animals are present and different types of the medicinal plants are present. So next, so if the forest affected by a diseases, the whole forest area is not destroyed. Only some particular part is the destroyed. So forest is the provide the habitat to the wildlife, and very important, forest help to control soil erosion. Is it correct?
Yes, sir.
soil erosion. Actually, if that soil is forming of the weathering of the rocks, inch of that small pinch of that soil also taking to the time millions of the years. If you are growing to the plants, soil erosion is the prevented by that plants. Forest is the prevented by the soil erosion. Next, forest help in the causing rain. So actually more number of the trees are present, more number of the trees are present, we are getting to the more amount of the water. More amount of the water is present, more crop yield we are getting. Okay, more crop yield we are getting. Okay, then automatically that country is very good in the nature. So forest keep the surrounding cool, surrounding cool. So actually here they are given to that okay, what they are given. So diversity in the forest, some of the forest in the Telangana they are given in the textbook, forest area and animals that live in the forest, types of the trees, and once general they are given, once we can see. So Chitturu district, what is the famous for Chitturu? Tirumala Tirupati Venkateshwara Swami. Yes or no? TTD, Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam. In that Chitturu district, what are the forest is present? What type of that animals are present? Elephant, do you know elephant?
Yes, sir.
Deers, do you know?
Yes, sir.
Monkeys, snakes, squirrels. These are the animals are available in the Chitturu district, and especially in that types of the trees. Tamarind, do you know tamarind?
Yes, sir.
Amla, neem, these are the plants are available in that, especially in the Chitturu district. Do you know Kurnool district?
Yes, sir.
So first capital city of the Andhra Pradesh is the Kurnool. After that later it is changed into the Hyderabad. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So Kurnool district, Kurnool forest area, tigers, bears, jackals, wolf and salamanders, these are the animals are present. Types of the animal: tamarind, amla, neem, tangedu. Do you know tangedu?
Yes, sir. I know, sir.
Generally in that Batakamma festival they are doing in that tangedu.
Sir,
Uh.
in my textbook I'm seeing same table, sir, but for me they gave
Different,
yes, sir, different district.
Okay. So Visakhapatnam district, animals are available: tigers, deers, chimpanzees, snakes, fox. Okay. Types of the trees, especially what type of the trees are present? Tamarind is present, amla present, neem is present, tangedu present, bamboo is present. Adilabad district, elephants, tigers, monkey. And types of the trees: tamarind, amla, neem, tangedu, addaku. So these are the types of the forest, types of the animals and plants. So in the forest of Andhra Pradesh we can see the different types of the trees like teak, sal, etc. So as well that grow very tall: neem, tamarind, amla, soapnut, red sandalwood grows quite tall. There are the bushes, creepers, gugilam, okay, tangedu, kamba, egisa, Nallamaddi, bamboo. So these are the plants are available. Next, you can see here forest of other region. Okay, you can see we have studied about the habitat in the class 6. On the basis of that, can you say forest good habitat? Forest of the hot and humid area, equatorial region. Okay, forest of the cold areas, especially alpines are present. Okay. So besides of the animals and plants, forests have been a home of the people as well as the from the ancient time. In the various forest area of Andhra Pradesh, we find some people still living there and making in their homes. They usually live in the places in the forest where water is available. Okay. So actually, do you know very well? So these are the people never harm the forest in any manner. Chenchus, do you know Chenchus? Adivasi. So these are the Chenchus and Adivasis never cut green trees for the fuel and wood and for the domestic purpose. They only collect only dry wood. They also hunt only small animals like lizards and rabbits for their food. Okay. So this is next. So this is the Chenchus handling forest with the care. This is this is available textbook in your textbook.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so actually they are living like that, their lifestyle is that. Okay, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Sarihaddulo Enugula Bibasam. Next, so this is the general information, and here you can see in 1730 AD, about 350, Bisnois led by the Amrita Devi sacrificed their lives to protect the scared green Kejari trees by hugging them. When a king wanted to cut those trees later, this was led to the Chipko movement in the history. Do you know Sundarlal Bahuguna?
Yes, sir.
Sundarlal Bahuguna is the, okay, actually protect the trees. Okay, actually this is the growing of the trees are the very beneficial to us. She is explained very well. Okay, next, here very important point, we obtain various things and materials from the forest. A forest is a good habitat for many plants and animals. Forests help in the binding of the soil and protecting it from the soil erosion. People living in the forest depend on its products for their livelihood. Social forestry could help overcome the deforestation. Forests are the lungs of our earth, and destroying the forest poses threat to life of animals and plants living there as well as our own survival. Now coming to the point, these are the new things. An area with a high density of the trees is called forest. What is the definition of the forest?
Area with a high density of trees is called
forest. A forest is a system which is composed of the plants, animals and microorganisms. In the forest actually these are the plants are available, animals are available and microorganisms are available. There are forests only 19.3 of the geographical area of our country forest is available. And very important point is forests serve as lungs of our earth. This is the important point. Who is the important point? This is the. Who is the serves as a lungs of our earth? What is the answer? Forest. Forests are serves lungs of our earth. Next, in 1730 AD, about 350, Bishnois led by Amrita Devi sacrificed their lives to protect scared green Kajari trees by hugging them when a king wanted to cut those trees. Later this led to Chipko movement in the history. So who is the starting of the Chipko movement? Sundarlal Bahuguna. Okay. So these Chipko movement after this practice has been carried forward by the people like Sundarlal Bahuguna. Next, forest is a habitat. Forest is a habitat. So forest is the habitat for a variety of the living beings. Many plants and animals and microorganisms are present in the forest. A typical tree's forest is composed by two distinct layers, that is the overstory or canopy and understory. So a tree can be divided into two parts. One is the trunk and branches. The branches of the tree is its own crown. Crown of the several trees in the forest make the canopy. Are you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next, In a dense forest, the canopy looks like a roof of the forest. There are many animals and creatures which live only on the canopy. Example, monkey. Next, in the rainy forest, the vegetation that grow under the shade of the canopy is known as the understory. Okay. So the understory is a tangle of the shrubs, young trees, palms and woody plants and that can grow in the shade of the tall trees. Many important forest products are useful for us. Some examples are given below. Firewood and dry leaves are used as a kitchen fuel in the villages which are close to a forest. Timber is an important raw material for the construction activities and for making of the furniture and artifacts. And wood pulp is used to the manufacturing of the paper. Actually, every day we are using to the paper, that is we are getting from the plants only. Okay. Next, honey, tendu leaves, catechu, lac, resins, etc. are the important forest products. Many medicinal plants, herbs and shrubs and forest and tall trees and medicinal plants, every plants are available in the forest. Forest in the an ecosystem. Every ecosystem you know very well. Every ecosystem, first of all, in that down, producers are present. Producers are nothing but which of the organism they can prepare their own food, that is known as the producer. In the producers, nothing but green plants. Above the producer, generally consumers are present. Actually, three types of the consumers are present. First one is the primary consumer. Which of the organism they can depend upon the plant and plant product is called primary consumer. Example, cow, buffalo, so elephant, these are all the examples of the primary consumer. So primary consumer after secondary consumer, which of the organism they can depend upon the another organism, which of the animals they can eat that flesh, that is known as the secondary consumer. Example, cat, cheetah, lion, tiger, everything, nothing but carnivores. Above that, tertiary consumers are present. Which of the organism they can eat the plant product and animal product, that is known as the tertiary consumer. Tertiary consumer example is the human being, dog, crow, bear, these are the example. Once you can see. Ecosystem means, especially ecosystem, the structural functional unit of that biosphere is called ecosystem. In the ecosystem, actually biotic components, abiotic components are present. Biotic components means which of the organism have the life is plants and animals is known as the biotic components. Abiotic components means which have no life. For example, temperature, soil, oxygen, pressure, these are the abiotic components. Biotic components depend upon the abiotic component. Abiotic component depend upon the biotic component. There is no biotic component, there is no abiotic component. Are you understanding?
Yes, sir.
Now coming to the point, every part of the forest contribute in the making of the self-sustaining system. The green plants prepare their food through the photosynthesis. Already do you know very well. So green plants, they are taking to the carbon dioxide 6 CO2 plus 12 H2O gives rise sunlight and chlorophyll, sunlight and chlorophyll, so C6H12O6 plus 6O2 plus 6H2O. In the photosynthesis mechanism, that green plant, they can prepare their own food. Green plants are taking to the carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight. It is occurred in the chlorophyll. They can synthesize their own food, that is nothing but glucose. C6H12O6, nothing but glucose, and they are releasing to the oxygen gas. Every green plant, they are absorbed to the carbon dioxide and releasing to the carbon dioxide. If you are cut the trees, who are taking to the carbon dioxide? So that's why don't cut the trees. So here in the ecosystem, which of the organism they can synthesize their own food, that is known as the producers. Producers are nothing but green plants. Is it correct?
No, sir.
Next, herbivores means the herbivores directly take the food from the green plant. Which of the organism they are depend upon that green plant, that is known as the primary consumers. Nothing but herbivores, cow, buffalo, okay, elephant, okay, ox, donkey, everything. This is the examples of the primary consumer. Primary consumer also known as the herbivores. Next, the carnivores take the food from the herbivores. Actually, which of the organism they are depend upon the food purpose from the herbivores, that is called carnivores. So this make the food chain which can shown by the, so like that, producers after primary consumer after secondary consumer after tertiary consumer after decomposers are present. When the dead and decaying organism, again when they are dead and decaying, bacteria and fungi, again that chemicals join into that soil. Okay, you can see in the presence of that sunlight, that green plants absorb to the water and minerals, they can synthesize their own food. That energy transferred to the primary consumer to the tertiary consumer to the secondary consumer to the tertiary consumer. Okay, tertiary consumer again, that is when they are dead, decomposing, again that is coming to the soil, again they are taking to the plants. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Next, next point. Now see, when an animal or a plant dies, that dead remains rot in the due course, it time and turn into the soil like thing. This process is called decomposition. These decomposition, especially microorganisms like bacteria and fungi, helped. Decomposition is the process by which all the raw material are returned to the nature. The soil like things made after decomposition is called humus. It makes the soil highly fertile. The top soil of the forest is the fertile because of the presence of the humus. Okay. So role of the forestry in the preserving of the environment. Forests play an important role in the preserving the environment. Green plants take the solar energy and convert it into the chemical energy while making of the food. So that's why solar energy converted into the chemical energy transferred to the living being through the green plant. Green plants utilize it to the carbon dioxide during the photosynthesis and release it to the oxygen. So that's why green plants maintain the balance of the carbon dioxide and oxygen of the environment. Is it okay? Next, you can see interdependence to each other. So what we are releasing? Carbon dioxide. That carbon dioxide taken by plants photosynthesis mechanism. Photosynthesis mechanism, which gas is released? Oxygen gas is released. That oxygen gas is used to the respiration. Then again we are released to the carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide utilized to the plant. So that's why there is no plant means there is no animal. There is no animal means there is no plant. These are the plants and animals, both of them interdepend to each other. Is it correct? Yes or no? So role of the forest in the water cycle. You know very well, if the more number of the trees are present, more amount of the water is present. There is no plant, there is no plant, there is no rain. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the roots of the trees make the soil porous. Rainwater percolate through these pores and recharge groundwater. Forests prevent the wastage of the rainwater in the form of the runoff. Forest also prevent flash floods by slowing down the movement of the water. So very important. For example, you know very well the water cycle. Water changed into the water vapor. Water vapor again joined into the clouds. Again that comes to that in the form of that water in the rain. In the form of the rain that is again joined into the soil. So that's why more number of the trees are present. More amount of the rain is present. There is no trees. There is no rain. Next. Okay. So next, so that means, if you every day your mother is preparing to the water, rice preparing, no, you know very well. Water is changed into the water vapor. Water vapor again joined into that atmosphere. When that joined into the atmosphere, joined into the clouds. When they are cooling again, that is forming the rain. Okay. So that is you know very well in the water cycle. So what is the meaning of condensation? What is the meaning of the evaporation? Water changed into the water vapor is called evaporation. Condensation means water vapor again changed in the form of water is called condensation. Okay. So in this condensation and evaporation is a continuation process in the water cycle. Next, roles of the forest in the soil conservation. The roots of the trees hold the topsoil in the place. The prevent of the soil erosion by the wind or by running of the water. Very important. Forests play very important role in the soil. Okay, conservation, soil conservation. Okay, erosion of the soil prevention by the forest only. If the more number of the trees are present, prevented to the soil erosion by the forest. Okay, there is no forest, there is no plants, soil. They can move to the one place to the another place with the help of the water, with the help of that air. But if the plants, trees are present, that soil is with the help of the roots, that the soil is binding to the roots. So that's why soil erosion is prevented by the plants. So soil erosion, soil conservation occurs through the plants. Next, deforestation and its effect. Next one is the deforestation and its effect. Large scale of the cutting of the trees to clear the land for the human use called deforestation. Okay, cutting of the trees is nothing but deforestation. Why we are do the cutting of the trees? Because of the agriculture land, forest land is converted into the agriculture land, and agriculture land is converted into the construct land due to the increasing of the population, due to that globalization. Actually that forest land converted into the agriculture land. Otherwise, due to the constructing of the building, that agriculture land is converted into that building or construction land. So that's why we can do the deforestation doing. Deforestation means nothing but cutting of the plants. Okay. What are the effects of the deforestation? Due to the growing of the human population, due to the growing of the human population, and vast tracts of the forest have been removed. So only one of the reason, because of that every year you know very well that population is increasing. So that's why land is the permanent, land is not increasing. So that's why that forest land is converted into that construct land or agriculture land. So that's why forest land day by day that is the decreasing. Okay, so that's why. So this has created many problems. Some of them given to the below. What are the problems we are getting? First problem. Reduced forest cover has led to the soil erosion and loss of the soil fertility in many places. Okay, so soil erosion. If the plants are present, okay, soil with the help of the plant roots, that soil is the absorbed. If there is no plant, that soil move to the one place to the another place. So that's why here my point is soil erosion is prevented by the forest. Soil erosion is prevented by the plants. So that is the first point. Next point, reduced the forest cover has disturbed the natural process of the recharging of the groundwater. Nowadays you can see the groundwater is the very lowest. Yes or no? Very lowest. Water cycle also disturbed. Okay, so this has resulted in the shortage of the drinking water in the many places. Actually in the summer season nowadays in the Hyderabad especially tankers are more available. Last 2 3 years you can see most of the people they are using to the usage water also the that tankers they are using. Why? Because that groundwater is not available, so that's why they are using to that tanker. Next point, reduced to the forest cover means there is a loss of the habitat for many animals. Existence of the most of the animals is a danger because of for example, if the more amount of that trees, more amount of that okay forest is present, different types of that plants and animals are available. Okay, if you are cutting of the trees, these are the forest. What are the natural habitat of the plants and animals? They are threatened or they are disappear. So that's why what happened? There is no forest means there is no natural habitat of the plants and animal. Next one, nowadays you know very well that plants are taking to the carbon dioxide and releasing to the oxygen gas. Nowadays every day we can do the deforestation. Who are taking to the carbon dioxide? Who are releasing to the oxygen? So nowadays every year you know very well in the summer season temperature is increasing because of that cutting of the trees or deforestation. So that is nothing but global warming. What is that? Global warming. So reduction of the forest cover leads to the higher percentage of the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. This is the leading of the global warming. The average temperature of the earth is on the rise. So every summer you know very well temperature is increasing and unseasonal. So actually in the February month we can see that lowest temperature we can see more cold is present. Unseasonal rains are occur. These are all the happening because of that deforestation, ecological balance imbalance because of the deforestation. Next, so forest is the provide habitat to the wildlife. Forest help in the causing of the rain. Forest keep the surrounding clean. Forests are the important source of the timber, fuel wood, cane, resin, slag, fruit, oil, nuts and honey. Forest is the serves as a lungs of our earth. Besides the animals and plants, forests have been a home of the people as well as from the ancient time. People usually live in the places in the forest where the water is available. We obtain various things and materials from the forest. A forest is a good habitat for many plants and animals. Forest is the help in the binding of the soil and protecting it from the soil erosion. People living in the forest depend on its product for their livelihood. Social forestry could help to overcome the deforestation. Destroying the forest causes threat to life of animals and plants living there as well as our own survival. So this is about that, especially for that forest is our life. Any doubts regarding?
No, sir.
So almost all the chapters is over, not?
Yes, sir.
So again, once you can generally all the lessons in the biology we can conduct okay grand test 20 marks main points only we will give. Once you can prepare next month in the month of that March first week we will conduct the test. Okay, physics actually maths is the 40 and physics 20, chemistry 20, biology 20, total 100 marks we will conduct the test. Almost all the subject syllabus is completed now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, once you can prepare well and you have the any doubt anytime you can ask to me in that biology. Okay, so regarding to that okay biology if you have any doubt please ask me.
No doubt, sir.
No doubt. Okay. So that means your biology only okay, perfect only.
Yes, sir.
It is easy subject only.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So which is your very hard subject?
Therefore, we maths and physics, sir.
Maths and physics is very hard for you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, please prepare well for the that grand test. All the subjects together we can keep that 100 marks. Physics, chemistry, biology 20, 20, 20 each subject, and mathematics is the 40 marks. Okay, total 100 marks. You can please get the score above the 90 plus. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So thank you. Have a great day. Please prepare well. Okay. Help to the others and God will help to you. Okay. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Bye, sir.
Shall I close the session?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Nana.